So this is a little mock-up of what the plan is anyway. So I got a corner. These are just going to be cut out of 4x4 green treated. I'm going to put a 2x4 green on the bottom where it meets the soil, and then the 2 oak boards from over there, or 3, whatever it takes. And then I'm going to put a green rail on the top. We'll get things going on the joiner and planer and get these things sized up so that they're consistent, so it's just easier to work with. All right, we're set up, ready to go through the planer. Here's how these boards turned out. 3-footers, and then these are 6-footers. I painted them on each side with barn and fence paint, water-based. I looked at the safety data sheet and I didn't see anything in the toxicity portion of it, so I'm not too concerned about this, but that's the beginning of the experiment. We'll get the post done next. So I got my corner pieces cut out of 4x6 green treated, and then I just coated the ends with a little copper coat. I do that on all my green treated stuff just to seal the end. And then out of the core of these that I cut out, I took those cores and made them 1.5 inches wide. They're thick this way. And those will go in the mid-span of the raised bed. I'm going to build these upside down on the flat level floor here, and that should keep everything good as long as I can keep them square, but I can mess with that when I get it out in the garden too. So let's get these things assembled. Since this is oak, I pre-drilled where I'm going to be putting my screws in, and just use 3.5-inch deck screws. Now the next layer that's right next to the ground I'm going to do out of this regular green treated, but I don't have them cut yet, so I'll do that and I'll be right back. Well, there it is. All right, so it's 69 inches this way, 36 this way. Tis 18 deep, and the legs are going into the ground about 13 inches. So when it dries up from this little rain we had, we'll take it and put it out in the garden and fill it with some of the garden soil that I made up there for these raised beds. Now this is the first one, so I have no idea how many more I'm going to build, but we'll get this one going. Got this set in here. Then we'll fill it with soil that I mixed up. We'll see how that goes. So I'm just going to put a couple, three rhubarbs in here, and I'll do a catch-up video on what's going on here with this new garden area. So before I went on the road about 20 years ago to work, I did commute and come home every day, and I had a couple of gardens going on. And just the way that I would work, beginning in September and ending in February, March, I could never really get back to gardening, so I eliminated those two gardens and I built a more permanent deal here. So the rocks here in the lower part I harvested from out of the woods back here. When I was in the middle of that, I saw the guy down the road about 1.5 miles was digging up rocks out of his field. He was going to convert over to hay or something. Anyway, all these big rocks on the upper portion were laying over in his field, so I just swung in there one day and asked what he was going to do with them, because everybody wants to sell them around here now because they're like gold, I guess. He just wanted them gone, but he couldn't pick them up with his skid steer or anything, so I went over there with a telehandler in the truck, and I've got some photos of that I'll share. So there used to be an oak tree in this area, and it sat right about where the raised bed is. It's probably 40 some inches in diameter. It was big. And then this area down here where all the grass is, there's a drain in there. So this area was a good 4 feet lower than it is now. So I dug that big stump of that oak tree out of there, and that was probably about a 15-foot deep hole. And I pulled him out of here and then started backfilling. So this lower part is kind of the native soil in here. And the hill up on top here, kind of by that tree right there, all the way across. There used to be a hill there. And then it went up on this side, over the hill, and then down again about 10 feet. And there was a deep ravine here where they had dumped a lot of the building materials from when they built the house. There was block and cinder block and flue liner and stuff like that in there. So this all got flattened out. That's where I used to have one garden. And then a few years ago, when we built the new barn, I took materials from the old barn that the snow collapsed and built the shed for my sawmill. So anyway, the reason I walked up here is here's a chunk of that big oak that blew down over there. And this was about 20 feet up where it broke off, and you can see that that was a big tree. So this whole area is going to have an 8-foot fence all the way around it, and that'll take care of the deer and whatever else. And then if I have trouble with the bears, then I'll go ahead and put a hot wire up. But so one gate here for the upper portion, and here's the other gate for the lower portion. So kept this bed far enough from the gate so I can maneuver wheelbarrow in here, because once I get the fencing up, there will be no more driving equipment in here. And then I did plant 2 Toka plum trees in here this spring, so I kept the bed far enough away from there so when that tree does grow, the canopy is going to come out maybe 7-8 feet on each side. So that's it. Here's the next phase of the raised beds that I'm going to be putting in the garden. So what I'm trying to do here is ride the line between aesthetic, longevity, and food safety. So when I was younger, I didn't mind building these things out of just the raw lumber, and then every few years when they'd start to rot, you yank them up and rebuild them and put them back in and refill them with soil and all that. But I'm 64 now, so I want to be doing this one last time. So I did go ahead and I'm going to paint all these with the water-based paint inside and out on the oak that I'm milling from the land here. Milling the oak costs the fuel that it takes me to do it, and then I'm only using the purchased product for the bottom piece here that meets the soil in the corners. So I'm going to build a bunch of these like this. These are 3'9" by 2'6", and they will be screwed together, you know, along here. That's what that piece there and that piece there for. So this box will slide in and be screwed right to that one, and there will be a series of these. There will be 6 of them in that lower garden, and I'm out of the oak right now, so I need to cut some more of that up on the lumber mill, and then we'll get to building some more of these. So that is the next phase, and we'll get these out in the garden. So I'm just going to rig this with a couple of rigging straps. Here's the plan. I left a little bit of walking space around the side and around the back, and then I'll alternate these back and forth, and we should get 6 of them in here. They're not sitting there level, but I'll jack up the back. I need to fill in along the bottom of the fence anyway. So here's what I've got going for the soil that I'm gonna fill these raised beds with. So yesterday when I picked up 2.5, maybe 3 yards of compost and another maybe a yard of pulverized black dirt and 5 yards of ground natural bark. There's some wood chunks in there. I called around to several sawmills in the area, but I couldn't find anybody that had just ground hardwood bark. I couldn't find a good resource for it, so this is just straight from the landscape supply place. This is what that mulch looks like. It's not as fine as I would like, but it'll rot down, so we'll adjust it as we go. We'll see how this rock grapple works on this for mixing. I don't think that turned out too bad. Got a pretty good mix of stuff in here. I pushed down on it with the tractor full weight on the front. It's pretty loose, and I don't think that'll compact the grass out of there. That should work pretty good in the raised bed. We'll figure it out. Kind of an experiment. Got to work with the material I've got. There's chunks of wood like this in there, and as they decay, I've read, they steal nitrogen from the other plants, so I'll probably just put a little bit of nitrogen rich fertilizer in there to compensate for all this wood that's in here. But this is the best I could get around in my area without driving hundreds of miles to get stuff or paying thousands of dollars to have it hauled in. So this is exactly what we're going to work with, and you got to do the best you can with what you got. I got to get the fuel pump on my little loader fixed up, because that was definitely not the correct tool for the job mixing this stuff. It's hard on a tractor messing around with this kind of stuff.